You think you're tough, huh? Bark for me like a good girl." The words exploded across the mess hall like a grenade. General Billings' voice thundered as he yanked Private Rhodes by the hair, jerking her from her seat so violently her tray of food crashed to the floor, sending utensils skidding. Gasps echoed through the room. Soldiers froze mid-bite, jaws dropped. Forks hovered in the air. For a moment, even the air seemed to stop moving. Rhodes winced but didn't cry out. Her teeth clenched so hard, her jaw trembled. Her fists balled at her sides, her face flushed crimson, not just from pain, but from the humiliation. But even as her scalp burned under the general's grip, she refused to give him the satisfaction. Billings sneered, tightening his grip. His voice dropped to a growl. "I said bark, mutt." Around them, the room shifted. You could feel the tension ripple through the ranks like a wave. No one knew what to do. Phones came out. Eyes darted between each other in disbelief. Some were frozen in fear, others in outrage. A combat medic took a step forward, but another soldier gently pulled her arm. "He's untouchable," she whispered with a tremble. "Don't get involved." Rhodes stood trembling, but it wasn't fear making her shake. It was restraint. Years of military discipline fought the urge to explode. Her pride told her to swing back. Her training told her to wait. She knew this wasn't just about her now. The entire base was watching. She didn't bark. Instead, she straightened her spine. Her voice was calm but sharp enough to cut steel. "I'm a soldier, sir, not your pet." The mess hall gasped as if a shot had been fired. Billings' eyes blazed. Rage twisted his face. He shoved her back, hard. Rhodes stumbled, her back hitting a metal table edge with a dull thud. Plates rattled. She dropped to one knee, but quickly pushed herself back to her feet. Her eyes locked on him. Unbroken, unyielding. That's the thing about Rhodes. She'd already been broken once, and she swore she'd never let it happen again. 3 years earlier, she was sleeping in the back of a rusted-out Chevy with her kid sister. No parents, no help, just darkness and desperation. Her mother had OD'd 2 months before. Her dad, he'd vanished before her first birthday. At 17, Rhodes worked double shifts at a gas station just to afford peanut butter sandwiches and cold showers in a truck stop bathroom. When an army recruiter showed up at her school offering meals, a bed, and purpose, she signed up without hesitation. She didn't join the military for glory. She joined because she didn't have a choice. And when she arrived at base, she carried a vow in her chest. "No one will ever make me feel small again." So when General Billings humiliated her in front of the entire base, he didn't just assault a private, he tried to break a survivor. That night, after the cafeteria cleared out, Rhodes sat on the bench outside her barracks, hands trembling, lips pressed tight, the weight of it all pressing down. That's when Sergeant Vega approached quietly and sat beside her. "You okay?" Vega asked. "I'm fine," Rhodes lied. "No, you're not," Vega said softly. "I saw what he did." "So did everyone," Rhodes replied, her voice like gravel. No one said anything. Vega sighed. Until now. What happened next wasn't planned, but it was inevitable. Multiple soldiers had caught the incident on camera. The footage spread like wildfire through the internal base chat. Rhodes being yanked like a rag doll. Billings barking commands like she was some kind of animal. Her standing tall and refusing, her eyes burning with defiance. The higher-ups scrambled to contain it. Phones were confiscated, orders were barked, warnings flew, but it was too late. By dawn, it was already viral. Breaking, Army General abuses female private in viral video. News anchors called it disgraceful. Activists rallied. Veterans demanded action. Female soldiers from around the country began sharing their own stories. What started as one moment of cruelty turned into a movement. Billings was placed on immediate leave. The investigation was launched within hours. But Rhodes? She didn't just wait. She volunteered to testify. Publicly. On record. In uniform. The courtroom was packed with officers, soldiers, press, and families. Rhodes stood tall, her uniform immaculate, her boots shined to a mirror. She took the oath, looked the board in the eye, and told her truth. "I joined to serve my country," she said, voice unwavering, "not to survive another war within its walls." She detailed every word spoken, every time she'd seen Billings belittle others, every bruise, visible or not. She didn't stutter, she didn't cry. When she finished, you could hear a pin drop. Then, applause. It wasn't supposed to happen in that room, but no one stopped it. Officers, soldiers, even civilians stood up. A woman in the back whispered, "That's what courage looks like." Billings, dishonorably discharged, every medal stripped, name disgraced, legacy shattered. But the moment that left the base silent didn't happen in that courtroom. It happened 3 days later on the parade grounds. Morning formation, hundreds of soldiers lined up. Rhodes was among them, back in the front row like always. The new commanding officer stepped forward. Private Rhodes, front and center. She stepped out, heart pounding. Whispers rippled through the ranks. The officer looked out at the assembled soldiers. This soldier reminded us what honor means, what it means to wear this uniform. Then he saluted. Every soldier followed, hundreds of hands lifted in perfect unison. A wall of respect, total silence. Rhodes stood still, blinking back tears. For the first time since that awful day, she allowed herself to feel it all. The pride, the pain, the validation. Because she hadn't just survived, she'd changed the entire system. She wasn't just a soldier anymore. She was a voice, a symbol, a warrior of truth. Before we end this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comment.